Welcome to a night in the Asylum. It's Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, as if you didn't know. Time for Talk Tech and Tequila with Darren and Jen. Call in live or leave a message at 855-366-9653 or email dilbert@asylum.radio. It's time to take refuge with your friends, your cocktail and cream puff.
Oh my God, Jen.
What's up?
It is
Happy
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We're live.
Yes.
What day is it? January 26th.
26.
Jen, I forgot to I forgot to turn our phone on, so I have to work on that while I'm talking to you. But we have a special guest tonight.
Very special.
Very special. He's got that deep voice. It might be deeper than mine.
I don't know about that.
Joe Jordan, who used to work with us at our little interactive company that we called JK.
It was huge. Come on.
It was
biggest
huge.
thing
Right.
in Hillsborough.
Yeah, it was when we were all there.
Right. We were
What's
there
up?
when it mattered.
So the audio might sound a little different tonight because we are recording through Zoom, because our goal was to try to live stream this to YouTube, but we didn't get that far because we couldn't figure out how to get it to work in the time we had available. So we'll try that again next week, and we'll let you know what the URL is. Right, Jen?
And by we'll try, we mean Darren will try.
Yeah, I'll try.
I don't even
And
know
eventually-
what magic you're doing.
Joe's going to take over all of this, so we won't even have to be here. It's going to be Joe by himself.
What?
That
I don't
was
know.
his idea,
I
right?
need some kind of like feedback here, guys. Come on.
All right.
Seeing our faces.
Joe, you were the one that suggested this topic, I think. So what's our topic tonight?
We are going to talk about streaming services.
Cutting the cable.
Cutting the cord, right?
cutter.
Cutting the cord, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's an old subject. You know, we've been talking about it. People have been talking about it for the past 5, 6, 7 years, whatever. And it's been baby steps, and it's kind of I feel like it's more of it's toddler stage. There's some bugs and issues that I have with it, opposed to regular cable. It's a great alternative as far as price, but definitely expect some drawbacks.
There's so many options. It's hard to kind of
Yeah,
figure out which ones.
I have a short list of just some of the popular ones.
A short list or the shit list?
The shit list. No, the short list.
Right.
Some of the popular ones. And honestly, when I was going to drop cable, I tried them all. And my perspective might be a little different than most, only because there are certain things that I care about as far as my viewing pleasures and what I like to view. I'm a sports fanatic. Viewing pleasures.
What was your reason for cutting the cable or cord originally? Was it because of money or what?
Yeah, well, I think it was a twofold kind of thing. It was, obviously one was money, and two was it was a new service I was really interested in, and I kind of want to see where it went. Way I saw it, everything was more a la carte. As well, and with cable, you get what you get, and you have different, steps up. You can take
Packages
channels,
and
packages.
it's always like one channel. You're like, I need that channel, but you have to pay $30 more a month for one channel.
It's funny you say that because it was, I was on Comcast, and I had to add the History Channel or Science Channel. Excuse me. I love a Science Channel. I'm a big geek, whatever. And so I had to pay extra like $10 a month for the Science Channel on top of the right. So on top of the $240 I was paying, whatever for and then the other issue is like after a year or two, your contract's up, they raise the price. So it's like, you might start out as like $190, but you end up paying it $240, $250.
Yeah.
Plus the
and then
internet,
you have to call them and threaten to leave.
Yeah, so they'll make a deal with you.
Bunch of BS.
Yeah. It's constant. It's constant. So anyway, in my travels, I went through a couple different companies, did some research, and
what do you mean in your travels?
in my travels.
And his travels from his desk for the past year.
Travels, yeah.
His living
travels.
room.
What is this travels?
So my
Is that a thing anymore?
right. No, I mean, it was just, just doing research, and, finding what what the best service was for me. So like I said, my perspective is very different than others. And, so I'll tell you what I ended up with, but let me go through some of the services I tried.
Have you cut the cord fully?
I had cut the cord fully for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wow, that's a long time. I didn't know.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with like a little bit of a legacy one. At least I think it was one of the first one, which was Sling.
Mm-hmm.
So they came out probably like 5-6 years ago, and they were okay. They were one of the first, and it was pretty cheap. So you didn't get a lot of
the service where it's over the top, so you stream the service on the internet, and you can watch local channels. Is that what they're
exactly? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So all these, they're streaming. It's all very dependent on your internet speed. So if you decide to cut the cord, you got to make sure that you still have to go to a capable provider for your internet. So it's Comcast, or Verizon, Xfinity, whoever it is.
Spectrum,
yeah, whatever. So if you have a lower tier internet service, your streaming is not going to be as good. So being that said, there are issues with like buffering and downloading, and I have pretty good connection.
What is your connection?
I don't recall, but it's one of the higher ones.
It doesn't. Which one? Comcast, you said?
I have Verizon.
Oh, Verizon. Oh, you have FiOS?
Yeah, I have the FiOS gigabit.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't remember the speed, but I think it's pretty up there, and I still have issues where it'll stop, it'll pause, it'll pixelate, it'll freeze, and
kind of like our Zoom video right now.
Is it? I'm not looking at it right now.
Both are crystal clear.
Okay.
Unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know.
So anyway, yeah, Sling. There's not a lot to talk about. I tried it out, and my memory's a little hazy on that because it was one of the first ones and only one.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear about Sling anymore. What's next?
No, I mean, Sling is doing a good job in the marketing side now.
Well,
with like, hey, you want a Sling instead?
Yeah, you know what? Now they are, and I've been interested in them lately because now, they're trying to play keep up, and when you try to play keep up, you're losing. But however, they were first to the game. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew who they were, and they kind of really start the evolution of the streaming services.
I think their problem is they don't have a lot of original content, right? It's just like streaming local.
They don't. It's not a lot of original content. I don't get a lot of movie options. And as far as and I'll say it, like I said, my perspective, I like sports. So there's some range of live sports. I tried it out for a 3-day trial and a height of I think it was like December, January. So December, January, you get hockey, you get football, you get basketball. So you get a lot of those sports. So it was a great time for me to really try that out and kind of stress test it. So I really wasn't that impressed with it because I still get a lot more, at the time, got a lot more options through Xfinity. So I started looking up Hulu. And I guess it was about 6 months later, they came out. And at first, when they came out, it was just, what was it? It was like $5.99 a month. It was, so TV shows you could stream from NBC, ABC, all those major channels. But
I've actually used Hulu. That's a green one, right?
That is the green one.
Yeah, I've never used that one.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so they were pretty good. So they had like thousands and thousands of movies you could choose from, a lot of which you probably wouldn't watch. So they're
like older, probably, or
but not like old and as good. Some new ones and everything, but it's not great. And once in a while, a good one will pop up. So they're always adding stuff. So they tout themselves as having 7,500 movies plus TV shows and episodes. But at first, it wasn't great. So it was just a matter of getting licenses, through these for these episodes and TVs or excuse me, for movies.
So what's the
TV
big
shows.
difference between Sling TV and Hulu? The movie options, basically.
The movie option is way more extensive, like way more. So
Wait, does everybody hear that little jingle of ice in a glass that was just moving around?
I know. I got parched
that-
all of a sudden.
Joe's
that
sitting
was-
there with his glass of what is that?
with my bourbon, my whiskey.
Holy crap, that's a lot of bourbon. I'd be on the
No.
floor if I drank that.
No. So
Like
this is whiskey, water, and an ice. I
Joe
wrote
is
it down.
showing us the levels of his
the
Yeah.
sound of
Drink
ice in
right
the
now.
glass.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
I
didn't mean
need-
to interrupt Joe.
No, it's all right. I need to drink when I'm talking to you guys, especially.
I drink before I start talking to you.
It makes you guys way more palatable.
In reverse.
Especially Jen.
Oh,
Ding.
Jen's the
Anyway,
best one here.
so yeah, she is. So yeah, back on topic. So Hulu really impressed me at the time. This is probably like 3 years ago. Just because it seemed like they were adding on more and more content as time went on. The great thing about it was eventually what cut the cord for me was the added live TV. So before, the $5.99 did not include live TV.
Does
And
Sling
that was-
have live TV?
It did, and that was
Did?
kind of cool.
It doesn't
Yeah.
anymore?
No, it does. It still does.
Okay.
But it's limited, and I'll talk to you about that. So with Hulu, they have the live TV. I'm like, well, all right, well, this might be for me. So it's all I really needed. It's the only reason I had cable was for the live TV. All the major channels and everything. So,
Speaking of live TV, before you go to the next one,
Yeah.
there was a brief period of time where we were moving from one house to another, and the house we were moving into, the deal fell through like at the last moment because it didn't appraise. All right. And then Darren's distracting me now. And then
I can't see you guys. I have my notes here, so
you can't see us. Oh, you need to
No,
Open
I
the
got my
chat
notes
window,
up.
Joe.
hold on. Give me 1 second. All right, here we are. All right, there
it's
you
like
go.
hitting on you and everything on your.
Oh, was he?
So
He's like
So
licking
we
his
moved
lips.
from
He was putting on lip balm and like so.
it's like
Okay.
Yes.
Let
So
Jen
we
get a
moved
word. I
from
mean,
one
let Jen
place
get a
to
word in.
another.
All right,
And
good.
then because we basically were homeless for about 3 months while we looked for another house, we had to live above an apartment. Long story short, we didn't have cable. Didn't make sense to get live TV in a temporary place. So I searched high and low. This is 2000, maybe 17, something like that, and found this company called Arrow, which I think it was Arrow, AERO, that let you stream live TV, which it was like not a thing back then,
Mhm.
maybe earlier, 2015. And then they got sued by New York live TV stations and then were shut down.
That was the
That
end of
was
them.
the end of my live streaming TV. Anyway, so
I've
that's
never-
interesting that Hulu has live
Yeah.
streaming.
I've never ever heard of them. Arrow?
I think it was Arrow.
Was that like
Arrow
a?
TV?
Was that like a?
It was a website that you go to, and then you would be able
Oh,
to
I
watch
see.
TV. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah.
So
Arrow
they're
TV. Yeah,
bit of
that's
innovator now.
that was my desperation of trying to watch live TV when I didn't have cable.
Cool.
So Hulu
So Hulu
has live
yeah,
TV, and then
has live TV. Has still a lot of movies and TV show options. So that's great and everything. But the only thing for me is the sports. It doesn't have a lot of sports. It's very limited. So and if they're playing something on the major channels, ABC, NBC,
right. This is like you're talking about NBC Sports and those specialty.
Yeah, and like ESPN, and,
which I never watched. So Hulu would probably be good for me.
yeah, no, it'd be perfect for you. Yeah, you don't like sports,
But do you
but if
like
you
the
did,
science? Yeah.
you wouldn't like it. So which
Do I like to watch, Jen?
I was going to say the Science Channel or any, like premium channels that aren't
Like
ABC.
HGTV and TLC, that sort of thing is what we
they
often
all they all come with it. The other options, you have like unlimited, not I guess you can't say unlimited, but there's a lot of add-ons. You can add on HBO, Cinemax, all those major movie channels.
What about Discovery Plus, which is their new online network?
Yeah, I have not tried that out yet. It's
So it's
something
not part of Hulu or anything of any of those services.
you know what, I don't know. It may be, but it seems like it's just an app you download to your smart TV and you play it from there. So, which brings me to my next subject is the add-ons. So it's great. Yet you have the base of Hulu and the live TV and everything, but they only have so many add-ons. So I had to add on ESPN separately because again I like sports and everything. So that was a separate add-on. So that's like $5.99 a month. And the other thing, everybody seems to have Netflix and Amazon. So it's the other things you have to add on. But the other one I tried was Apple TV. And for me, I found that almost worthless unless you're into like Star Wars and like.
I haven't even used it, and I agree. I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard from people on Facebook that were part of the DNR group that there's a couple of people that use Apple TV and they still subscribe to it solely because there's a couple original programs that they like on Apple TV that's not on other streaming services. So now they're forced to pay for Apple,
like The Office or whatever.
I don't know what it is. It's original programming on Apple TV, which I didn't know they even did.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, as I don't know what a lot of their original programming is. So I don't know if it's the marketing behind these original programs. I mean, the hype behind it was huge. And the one reason I got it, honestly, it came with my laptop when I bought it for a year. So I checked it out, and I really wanted to watch this movie called Greyhound. Tom Hanks was in it. Submarine movie.
Nope.
Whatever. It looked awesome in the previews. I thought it was a big flop. I thought it was terrible, but that's why I tried it out. But everything else, I was like, all right, I don't need to watch Star Wars movies or Marvel comic movies all the time. And it seems pretty limited with that. And
does Apple TV need hardware, or this is just like another app?
No, it's another app you can download. It's available on your desktop computer.
It started with an Apple device,
smart TV,
Apple TV.
Right. It was
but
like
now it's an app you can load on most TVs.
Right. Yeah. So I think they're like new to the game, and I think the reason why they probably have, and this is speculation, original programming is getting rights to other available known movies and TV episodes from other networks. There has to be a cost there. So they don't have that. So I it's not very, very valuable to me. Now, the other one that came out was Peacock. So I don't know if you guys had any experience with that.
That's like
NBC, I've heard of it, NBC, and it's free for anybody who wants to use it. NBC.
It's free.
How's the Peacock, Jen? Come on.
I don't know what the Peacock is.
I guess I'm the only one that knows what the Peacock is.
I know it's a station.
So like the brilliant thing with them is like they it's what they call, I'm trying to think of the word, it's called hooks. So what hooks is something in advertising in UX and UI. They get you to download their software for free, right? You kind of get addicted to it, form this habit of watching it and everything. You get so far, and there's this piece of content that you want to watch, but you can't unless you pay.
This is Apple TV?
This is Peacock.
Oh, Peacock.
Really? Yeah. They want you to pay too? I thought they were totally free.
They are, but there's certain content
That's
that
the
you
movie,
have
Aaron.
to pay extra for,
Oh.
just like Amazon. I'm not sure Netflix does that.
Per show or per month or what?
No, it's per show. It's like I
Wow.
got as far as per show, just like Amazon Prime. Now, if I could be wrong, so whoever wants to call in, whatever, prove wrong. But I tried it for a couple days, and I was not a fan of that. Like the kind of the hook. I'm
So this is
very
like
aware of that.
Peacock is different from NBC because you can watch shows on demand. Is that the
That is correct.
draw?
For was as far as I know, but like it's confusing because then you have to pay for NBC. Their app is $5.99 a month.
Mhm.
So I don't know what the
The
fine line
difference
is. Yeah, I
It's like
just
the difference between HBO and HBO Max. I don't know.
yeah,
It's confusing.
exactly. So HBO Max is you're probably paying more for more content. That's what it all comes down to is like I said, those hooks. They get you to download the content, get addicted, and then all of a sudden you're paying for more content because you're already so involved in that episode or the miniseries or movie that you're going to want to buy more. So it's smart. It's
You know what would be really mean is if they gave you like the first 3-4 episodes of a really good series for free, and then when you're on the like next one, they're like, "Oh, sorry, you got to pay." That would
Mhm.
be Machiavellic.
Really good?
Oh, yeah.
I think it sucks to string you along and make you pay for all these things every
Yeah.
time you want to watch something. Oh, you got to pay. You got to pay.
Mhm.
I'd rather have
Yep.
my cable where I pay a flat fee and I'm done.
A flat
Yep.
$1 million fee, but you can watch
150
whatever you
bucks,
want.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, when it comes down to it, like I said, there's pros and cons to both. So just a couple that I went over. Obviously, the best for me, and what I ended up with was Hulu, with a couple add-ons: Netflix, Prime, Apple TV, ESPN.
So this is my question to you with that is because when you started, you said part of the reason was cost. So with
Yeah.
the cost comparison, how does it compare?
Right now, they've shot up in price. At first, it was great. I was paying probably like $100 less,
Mhm. Oh,
whatever.
that's great.
Yeah, and they, the cable companies knew this was coming, so they raised the internet costs. So I might have been paying like $50. Now I'm paying like $90. And the streaming services, Hulu was $50 a month when I first started. So now it's like up to 80 plus
Whoa,
all the other add-ons.
80?
Yeah.
that's a lot.
So
for-
originally Sling TV
Why-
was really the first one that had the live TV, then Hulu, then YouTube TV carries it, live TV.
Yeah. I tried them. Yeah.
Fubar, I think, is another one or something.
Fubu.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fubar.
So
Fubar.
they're great for Fubar. No, they're great for sports, but that's about it. I found. So, but like I said, when I ended up 3 years ago was great and it worked for me. Right now, I'm now looking and pricing back, Comcast and Xfinity and
So
seeing
you
how
might go
comparable.
back to cable.
I'm on the same boat where you are right now. I kind of just wanted to be done with it and not get the hassle. And that's the cons with it. If you're streaming services, you have to kind of be on top of it because programming changes constantly. It's very dependent on your internet connection. So there's all these issues. You have to stay on top of it, and the price changes.
Well,
So
and I think also the licensing and the relationships between the shows and the whatever
absolutely.
platform also is in
Yeah.
flux. a lot.
So I'm
So
like,
when I looked
I'm-
into this a year ago,
uh
before I cut my last deal with Xfinity Comcast, I was considering Hulu. But then if I have to pay for the internet fee fast enough to be downloading stuff and also watching TV, the only people I can get it from is Comcast because I don't have any other options in this area.
wait,
And then if I
That's
add
a
on
whole
the
other issue, though.
and if I add on the
Stay low.
fees for for if I add on the fees for Hulu or add on the fees for YouTube TV, that's another 50 to 80 bucks. And it was 50 bucks for the cable. So I'm at almost what I was paying just to have Xfinity. And the problem is when you go to one of these other services, if you look at what I have now, I have TiVo, which I love because it will record the live TV channels on cable. And then when I'm at my house, I can watch them and skip commercials very easily. It automatically cuts out all the commercials with TiVo. And I have TiVo more or less repeaters, mini TiVos on every TV in the house. And I don't have to pay anything additional for those. And they connect to the main TiVo unit and stream everything through the house. And that works very well for me.
Is it accessible in the cloud by chance? Like, can you watch the shows that you TiVo'd
You can
remotely?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I don't know that I'm ready to switch to anything else. I was looking at YouTube TV again, but totaling up all the costs, I just don't see the advantage, because if I go to YouTube TV, I lose my TiVo, and then I have to fast forward to the commercials, and I don't have as smooth of an integration for like a DVR. I know they have them on YouTube TV or in the cloud, but it's a little better when it's local to your hard disk.
So is TiVo a hardware device?
It's a hardware device, right?
Do you pay a subscription also?
I do, and I think that's $150 per year, and that really is for the channel programming. So it pushes the channels that are local to your TV stations down to your TiVo, so it knows how to tune the stations and give you the guide.
Can't you also do that with Fios and Comcast, as record and play
you
back?
can, yeah,
from a channel,
if you want to, but I don't have Fios as an option, so I'm sticking with Comcast and TiVo.
So my other issue,
you have a lot of issues, Joe.
So many. So I've been doing this 3 years. You think I'd be used to it by now? Is you either need a smart TV or a Fire Stick or a Chrome stick to stream these apps like Hulu and Netflix. And the one issue I have is that you have to keep on jumping back and forth, wait for them to load the apps, right? Then go through these different channels, especially Hulu. I have to go through the channel guide, which is fine, but you can't watch TV at the same time. So you have to go through.
Really?
Yeah, and that's one of the big down parts. Is you have to they
don't even have
stop watching what you're watching, like
so
a little
weird.
Preview, like you would have in Comcast at the top of the screen,
like my TiVo,
Verizon or TiVo. You can continue watching, and you have your TV guide at the bottom. Great. Not on Hulu, not on ESPN, not on Netflix, not on Peacock. None of these stream live as you're going through the guide, and that's a big thing I beg them to fix. I don't know which maybe it's a streaming issue, but if they fix that, it would be huge.
I don't know why they wouldn't be able to do that.
I feel like it's maybe a live TV versus streaming content issue. So like the cable companies, because it's all live, you're just kind of flipping through different feeds. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right, because it's much quicker. It's much quicker delivery on a cable for cable TV than streaming, because you have to tune to the stream,
right? And
that's not an instantaneous transition.
So having it play live while you're doing that stuff probably is a worse experience.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and this is just my programming mind, is they're streaming videos that are up to 4K or something. So there's a lot of packets being thrown out there through the air, right? So that's a lot of pixels to stream. So as you're minimizing, right, and to that little picture window, can it be a lower quality, like a 320 quality video? It doesn't even be the high quality. You can hear the audio, see the video.
The issue is not the thing that's playing, but the thing you want, the menu of things you want to see while it's playing the not live thing.
Yeah, but you're not talking.
It seems like you should be able to do that. They should be able to play a stream while you're also have an overlay on top of that to show
Exactly.
you the channels where you might
So
want
the
to
thing
change.
that I'm thinking of is, in my day job, one of the clients that we have is Charter, and they have Spectrum TV, and it comes with an over-the-top option where you can just have streaming TV, or you can have like the cable box and the whole thing, right?
Mhm.
And I know that when you're watching live TV, you can go to the guide and do it through the app, watch TV or hear it while you're scrolling. But if you go to, what is it called? The on demand, it doesn't have that option for some reason. So I
Hmm.
think it has something to do with live versus pulled
Oh,
content.
you know what? I lied. So it's a bit inconsistent. So if I'm in my living room, I get the guide. I can't hear anything. There's no playback. But in my kids' room, they have a TV, Roku TV in the room, and Hulu will overlay the channel guide over the video. You can't really see it, but at least you can hear audio. You
Right.
can still keep track of what you're viewing. So there's that inconsistency where I can't keep on hearing or seeing on my TV, but my kids can at least hear it and see a little bit of what's going
Maybe
on
it's a
with.
TV thing then.
It might be a TV compatibility thing, but if the app is standalone app,
Oh,
what's
these are
the
installed on your TV.
yeah? I mean, they shouldn't be that dependent on the TV's OS, right? I mean, they're all Android TVs, right? These smart TVs, right? They're all
I'm going to be
Android based.
asking the engineers that I work with about this very question after this,
Mhm.
because that's interesting. I've noticed that, but it never bothered me because I'm not in UX or UI.
Yeah. So most of these smart TVs, if I'm correct, are LED, and that's Android based, and OLED is not. So that could
Mm,
be the thing. I don't know.
I'm going to play with all the
There, yeah,
different
there are people
TVs
smarter
to
than
see.
me that know why it's different on every TV and what's
You
what.
know what I didn't know, speaking of all this, is the LG OLED TV that I have has WebOS. So, like, what is WebOS? And WebOS is built on a Linux kernel as opposed to an Android device, which is what
Mhm.
some of the other TVs use, is Android.
Hmm. Yep.
On a what platform was it?
It's, well, I have an LG OLED,
Yeah,
and a lot of the LG TVs use WebOS, which is built on Linux
yeah.
rather than Android. And if you're built on Linux, I think you have a little bit more flexibility in how you do things as opposed to just being built on Android.
No, if I'm right, I think the Apple OS was built on a Linux platform. Is it not? Is it based off of
Oh,
Linux? I believe because you know
that would be a
the
conflict of interest for the
Yeah, that would be a
Apple.
conflict
OLED.
of interest.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe I don't know. I'm getting
Oh.
too deep into it. I'm talking about things I don't know what I'm talking about. So
This is like hardcore
I'm
back-end
guessing.
integrations.
I know this much. I know very little. Teaspoon of a cup, and I'm talking like I know.
But I
Uh,
mean, I think the point is valid. It's like if you're watching a movie and you feel like the movie is okay but not awesome, why wouldn't you be able to scroll and look for another movie to stream while you're still hearing or watching
Yeah,
said
I mean
movie?
exactly. I mean you're partially invested in it, and you're kind of toying around with the idea as you stream through
why
or
can't
scroll
I have
through.
what I want?
Right. I mean, well, I mean, how long has guides and that little picture window been around? For
Yeah,
for cable companies forever, and it has to be a streaming issue.
but I've never
And
seen it in recorded content, only live, the little
yeah,
box in the
yeah.
corner.
Now, have you guys tried any of these streaming services? I mean, at all? I know you tried Arrow way
Mhm.
back when,
I
and
have Netflix.
The only thing I
Amazon
use,
Prime.
sorry, Jen, go ahead.
Don't talk over me.
Ooh. Well, I am over you on Zoom right now. I don't know where I am on your screen.
You're beside Joe. I turn off my view, so you're next to each other. And I think that's really it. So I'm not interested in Disney Plus. Oh, HBO Max. So HBO Max, Netflix, and Amazon are the three that I use. Amazon is horrible and clunky. The interface is ridiculous. It's like a 1990s app compared to Netflix, which is like fast and smooth and clean.
I usually go to Prime. Is that what you just said? Prime is a horrible interface?
Oh, Amazon?
I usually go to Prime because they have the movies I want to watch for usually the better price than other platforms. Like it might be $1
I go
less.
To Amazon. I go to Amazon if I want to rent a movie, to be fair.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm talking about.
To like look at shows and search for stuff to watch, it is horrible.
They do have a lot of original programming I watch too, like some good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but you have to get through the clunky.
The mishmash
interface.
of the interface, yeah.
It's so confusing and it just looks dated.
The only other paid
interface. Joe
interface.
to redesign it.
Yes.
The only other paid interfaces I use for streaming, well, I use Netflix and Prime, which are very common. A lot of people use those, but I wanted to see Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard, which are both on the CBS streaming platform, which I forget what the name is.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
And I actually watched that now through Amazon Prime because I didn't want to. It doesn't work right under TiVo, so I just go to Prime and watch it through there.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the other thing: is like one of my other issues because I have many.
Yes, you do.
Besides the obvious, is that sometimes you just want to veg, right? And with like these streaming services, Netflix or Amazon, you can't just turn them on and something just given to you. Like, cable services, it just, you just go there and you veg out whatever comes on TV, and you're kind of missing out on that. You have to make the choices yourself.
Well, Netflix included that Play Something.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Is it Play Something? And I haven't actually
something like that. Yeah, you're right.
But it's
Play
like
what?
That's it.
It's like autoplay.
It uses like AI to decide what it thinks you would like to see.
Oh, that's right. I did see that, but I've never hit that button.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
It's like I feel lucky. The button on Google, it's like that.
Just give me whatever you're gonna give me. I'll take anything.
Oh, Darren.
That's age, Jen.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying in like 40 years.
Wow.
You're so mean to me.
She's mean to everybody.
But she does it in such a polite way.
She does.
It gives her charm.
Right.
After she insults you, you almost want to say, "No, thank you."
Exactly.
And like 10 minutes later, you're like,
that's what I love about Jen.
She insulted me, and you didn't notice till like the next day. You're like, "Damn it."
Yeah. The best thing is one time I was talking to this other guy at work that is part of the parent company that acquired our company, and he kept interrupting me, which is like a huge pet peeve of mine.
Chad, I didn't know this is a pet peeve of yours.
But he was interrupting me in real life. Like, I understand on video and stuff there's a delay. This was like in real life. He was talking.
Not real life. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
Listen. And so I did this awkward pause and made it super uncomfortable. And then finally I was like, "Are you done?"
Oh,
and then
did you give her in the face when you said that? Are you done?
Yeah. And then, well, wait, it gets better. I was like, "Are you done?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, I'm going to talk. Do not talk over me until I'm done. And don't confuse my smile for friendliness."
This is something from your parent corporation.
Yeah. And then I talked and he didn't interrupt me.
Wow. He probably has a new respect for you. She put her foot down. Some guys like that, right, Joe?
Not like that, no.
If I'm saying a sentence, shut up and let me finish my sentence. That's all I ask. That's it.
I would probably cry. I don't know.
You will cry. You see the smile? It means fuck you.
Wait, I gotta bleep that out. Beep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now we're an adult episode.
Right.
You can't curse
anyway.
on this.
So yeah, I think that oh, my cat, hold on, sorry.
Oh boy.
Harry gotten in the way. The
No,
hairless
that's Apollo. That's
Apollo.
You see, Apollo is this blue color. I don't know.
Ugh.
Oh, a hairless cat. Oh, infestation. How many cats do you have?
I think you and I are on the same page about this.
I'm
hairless
a dog.
pussy.
They're like dogs.
I'm a dog guy.
The only pussy that shouldn't have hair on it. So.
Now we're an adult show.
I didn't finish what I was gonna say. Just use your
We're talking
imagination.
about streaming. You have to edit this out. My kids are listening.
Oh dear.
We're live, Joe. We don't edit.
I quit.
So, yeah, you're like, I'm done. What were you saying, Darren, before I went on my
I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Interrupting.
I don't remember anymore. Your story was more important, I guess.
Right.
So back to the streaming stuff. So don't go for streaming services unless you're not a big fan of sports, right?
That's me.
If you like switching back and forth between the apps, waiting for them to load, dependent on internet connections, and the inability to view a guide and watch a TV show at the same time. So I still think the cable services are the way to go. It just, they've been around for a long time. They're ahead of the game. They know what's going on. And I think eventually, from my perspective, in my mind's eye, is that they're going to be more a la carte. It's not going to be different services or, different levels you can buy into. But I think it's going to be more or less, hey, I want HBO with this program, or I want like ESPN to be added to my Comcast. It'll get there, but I think it's way better.
What is it, Darren?
Did I hear your cat sneeze?
You heard my cat sneeze? Yeah.
I did. Sorry, Joe.
I'm trying to be serious here, guys.
I know. I'm trying to be serious.
He's like laughing at me.
Darren has the giggles.
So yeah, I mean, right now, at first 3-4 years ago, yeah, streaming services awesome because cable companies weren't there, but you have to experience it. It seems great because you're gonna save money, but right now you're maybe saving like $40 and it's wasted on the experience and the convenience of having the alternative, the cable service. It's way more reliable.
And that's about it. The $40 is about the difference. And I just don't think it's worth it.
It really is. I mean, at first you're talking about $100. Well, yeah, that's worth it. I'll survive. I'll get used to that. And I did. And now I'm like, ugh.
Well, the whole thing is cost, right? And the cable companies know how to manipulate the prices so that it doesn't make sense.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Manipulate.
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't just the prices, but it was the vastness of different type of programs that you could view, to your liking. It seemed more a la carte. Like it was specified for me what my viewing was. Whereas like Xfinity, you got what you got, and you had to pay all this extra to get these add-ons. That was my perspective at the time. Now it's kind of swayed.
I got the Verizon Fios gigabit internet, basic cable, and phone, which I don't even have a freaking phone to plug into anything. I don't even think I have a phone jack or whatever they're called.
You had the basic internet?
I got the gigabit internet.
Oh, gigabit. Okay.
But I bundled it with the basic cable that basically has the network channels, and that's it.
Is it gigabit both directions?
Yeah, my up and down are pretty fast. Yeah.
Well, gee, if it's a gigabit, then you should be the person that's running the board and recording everything and uploading it to the
my internet. It's like lightning fast, and it's because I'm bypassing the Verizon Fios router and using Orbi as my router, and that's why it's like through the roof.
Orbi.
I'm moving in Jen's house.
It's faster or something?
Oh yeah, it's the mesh network, so
okay.
it has total coverage, super fast. But the key is you have to. I didn't know how to do it, so I had to call Orbi, and they walked me through how to bypass the router because you still need it for I don't know whatever
Hmm.
to get an IP address and all that stuff, but then use the router of Orbi to.
So this upstairs room that you don't have a physical wire up there.
No,
Really?
So
I'm
if you don't mind,
surprised.
if you don't mind me asking, Jen, how much do you pay for your internet?
195. Well, it's
Wow.
it's that
Wow, that's
bundle
Just for the internet? Oh, the
oh
bundle.
for the
Okay.
bundle
bundle.
thing.
You,
Yeah, yeah.
you get your cable, you get your phone that you don't use,
Phone.
and
Right.
you get your internet.
And I have the
That's a
phone that I don't use because it's cheaper to bundle the 3 than to remove the phone from the
so
bundle.
that sounds cheaper than what I'm paying right now.
Yeah. And the
Honestly,
only reason I have the basic cable and the phone again is because if I just wanted the gigabit internet, the price doesn't make sense. So I was
yeah.
like, sure, I might as well have basic cable.
So I'm wondering why they offer the voice or the phone, the landline. I mean, I had the same thing.
It's
I've never
BS.
used it. I don't have a phone.
Maybe for faxes? I don't know because I get fax over
Jen,
the internet.
this is
I
like,
don't know.
what,
It might make sense for people that
what year is this, Jen?
it might make sense for people that don't want to
Faxes.
rely on their cell phone for an emergency phone call like a 911. That's the only
911
thing
is
I
a
can
big
think
issue,
of.
yeah.
All right, here's my demented thought. It's like, all right, you need to
Your what
lay
thought?
my demented like, well, not demented, like I have anxiety about like people breaking in, whatever. And my thought is like, well, if
What are they going to
I-
steal, Joe?
me, look how handsome I am.
His snowball thing.
My snowball microphone. My thought is, well, they can cut the phone line, right? They can cut my internet, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
I still have my phone, my cell phone, right?
Mhm.
So what's the point of the landline?
Well, home security now is not necessarily through phone lines. You can get it wireless. And then
It's wireless, yeah.
Okay,
So
facts.
that's
Okay, facts,
all.
girl. Don't talk like you're years ahead. You just said facts like a couple sentences ago.
Simply
Jen
say
is
I don't wanna
years ahead
hear
of
it.
me.
and then there's Ring, all these options.
Don't
But
put me down,
the
woman.
phone line, yeah. I mean, you see, I was watching a show last night about a serial killer because that's I fall asleep to
Great.
serial killers. I was watching it and he was in the I don't remember 80s and
Oh,
he was
yes.
the Night Stalker, right?
Yes,
And
this was on Netflix.
yes, yeah,
I'm just trying to tie it back together here.
yes, Netflix. I was streaming Netflix.
So good. Yeah.
And he cut the phone line because he saw on the one of the news reports that
Mhm.
they knew he used the phone or I don't know whatever. But I mean, unless that is your fear, I feel like you're good. You can
Yeah, that's part of my fear, but I don't have to worry about that because I sleep with my my little pocket knife and my cell phone right by
no,
my
you don't.
Yeah, I was
No,
thinking
I
the same
don't.
thing. No, you don't.
I don't.
I like that you said little pocket knife too. Not
Pat and I do
pocket.
sleep with pistols in our drawers,
What?
so to speak. He's got
What
his
does that
pistol.
mean?
He's got his pistol in his nightstand next to him.
Oh, he's like
And then there's
a
Locked?
Then there's
He's
another
like a-
one that we have in another place.
he's like a sergeant of police or like
He was a
admiral,
captain, retired.
whatever. Yeah. Oh, he's retired.
Yeah, he retired like I don't know, like 8-9 years ago or something.
He's been living the dream.
God, you
Well,
guys
he's
are old.
working on a second career right now, so he's working for the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh,
So who's
wow.
the sugar daddy? You or him?
He
I
is.
had to say he's more the sugar daddy than I. He's well invested compared to me.
So
I make more per year, but not overall investments.
That overall net
Better.
worth. Sorry.
Pat.
you're lying. He bought your studio, didn't he?
No, I paid for this myself.
Oh. So wait, Homeland Security. So is he like part of the wall, the Trump wall?
No,
no,
there's
I'm
no
not gonna
Trump
talk
wall.
about politics.
That's
I'll stop right
completely
there.
fabricated.
I'll stop right there. I never said the word Trump.
We are going to have this conversation sometime, but not tonight.
I'm all about Biden.
All
know,
about
Here on the Asylum, we like to have differing opinions, and Jen and I are of the Democratic side. And Joe Jordan, as much as we love him, he's a Republican.
But I mean,
We'll talk
to
more
be
about that later.
clear, yeah, to be
Well,
clear, I like
well.
Republicans. Trumpers is a
I'm not
whole
a
other
tr-
thing.
well, that's a whole other
Admit it,
issue.
Joe,
I'm
you're a
not-
Trumper.
I you know what? Quickly, I'll say this. I was very for Trump for his economic views and his for pro USA and all that good stuff. I hate the way he talked. I hate the way he tweeted. I think he handled the uh, problems with the Capitol way wrong, and how he handled the election was probably not um, very presidential by any means, and it's okay
Or legal.
or well, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
we'll see, right? So
He has small
I-
hands and an ugly mouth
I-
and orange skin.
my perspective really is that it wasn't a career politician. He wasn't finely polished or groomed to be a politician by any means, and I think that was very obvious. And that's what I was rooting for. And I think the career politicians, either Democrat or Republican, to me, I'm not sure if they really care about us as individuals as they care about as much as their pockets. And I think they'll say we've seen it. They'll say a lot of different things during their candidacy, and a lot of things fall through. They just don't happen.
Every
So I know-
politician's that way.
yeah, I mean
Mhm.
everybody's that way. So I'm going way farther than I wanted to, but I think I think the Democratic Party did a great job by branding themselves as pro individual. You could be whoever you want to be, and it's tolerance and everything, and that's great, and I'm all for that. I don't think the Republicans did such a good job because they're so far right Republicans. They're so anti, gay and anti abortion, and from my perspective, I don't think a lot of Republicans are that way. I'm more towards the center. Whatever you want to do is great for you. It's all economics for me. That's what it
Probably
comes
more
down to.
toward the right on the Democratic side, because I think there should be more fiscal responsibility than what there is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Democratic Party spends a lot of money on social issues.
Programs that how are you going to pay for all this? But everybody's doing that now.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I have about Trump or the movement is that he was a populist, and his America First movement, as much as you might think that might be a good direction,
Mhm.
it's not a good direction for the country, because we're the leaders of the world. And now during his presidency, we're taking a step back, and you're endangering things like NATO and all of our allies, which is going to reduce the standing, or it already has, of the United States in the world. It's a dangerous thing.
Here's the thing. I don't think our standing in the world happened overnight. I don't think it happened over 4 years or over his presidency. I think it's something that has been happening. And if you looked at the data, everything that China's been doing for the past 20 years, the goal is to become economical and military world force. So it's something that just didn't happen over 4 years. It takes a lot of time, effort, money. So I really don't think it's Trump's fault. I think he kind of inherited that snowball that's rolling down the hill. And yeah, everyone wants to blame one person. And if Trump's to blame for all the world's problems, honestly, we really need to look at ourselves in the mirror, because that's a guy with a lot of power over the whole world. And I don't think that just happened by one guy's mistake.
So, Joe, I didn't want to make you talk about Trump tonight.
Yeah.
Me, Jen, and Joe have been talking on the side, like, when are we going to bring this up? And maybe down the road we would talk about it.
I have so many questions. Yeah. I mean,
We
I
do
have
have
a
questions
lot of
for Joe. I
but
like-
I'll reserve
I
them.
guess
But for another time. We're almost out of time
Yes.
now. We got
Okay.
6 minutes left.
All right, great. So
Yes.
no more Trump in politics, and
No, Not
All right,
tonight.
good.
And I do
All right,
want to do one plug. I am co-directing a fundraising show called the Match Clatch Game, which is being distributed through Zoom through my local theater, S as in Sam, V as in Victor, P as in Polly, theater, theatre.org, svptheater.org. And that's going to be on Sunday, 7 p.m. This Sunday, January 31st. It's Somerset Valley Playhouse.
SVP Theater.
Correct.
Awesome.
I want to make one more plug, guys.
Make a plug, Joe.
Make a plug.
Let's hear it.
So here's my plug. You guys missed my birthday last week, and neither.
No, I sent you a happy birthday.
You did,
Stop
but
it.
Darren did not.
I sent you a text. That's a lie.
And I thought Darren was like, we were like this.
That's a lie. Wait, I got to check my phone.
I never got one.
Definitely did.
Jen sent me hearts and like
Right.
other
Kissy
unmentionables.
faces, all of the things.
Joe, does it help that I was dreaming about you?
I bet you were.
Mm.
I dream about you too, buddy.
Thanks, pal. I appreciate that.
Oh, man.
Not in the same way.
I'm scrolling back on my text history to see if I wished him a happy birthday.
You didn't.
And I'm sure I did.
No,
I did. It's right here.
Jen
Joe,
was-
happy birthday.
Jen was
Is that
one
all
of the
you said?
first.
That's very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Joe, happy birthday.
I actually haven't found it. It's somewhere in here.
I'm trying to see. How do I have so many texts between your birthday and now? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I sent you the cat with
Yeah.
the hat.
Yeah. Oh.
Isn't that a movie, Cat in the Hat?
Well, it's a book too,
Uh,
Darren. By a famous guy. I don't know if you heard of him.
So, Jen, in the few minutes we have left, one
Mhm.
thing I can say is I think when we do this through cleanfeed.net, it's a much better sound. But it is what it is.
I mean, it sounds the same to me. What is the difference in audio quality on your end?
It sounds better than it sounds more echoey, and it's got pauses and stuff like that, but that's just Zoom. But I was overruled by Joe and Jen, who wanted to have this Zoom video live stream platform, and I'm like,
Yeah.
my ugly ass on TV, I don't want to be on
Next
any
level.
videos.
Next level.
Right.
So that's our new platform.
So real quick. So on Zoom, we have me, Joe Jordan, Darren Nye, and Jen is not Jen. on this
What am I?
platform. It just says X Waldez.
I'm X Valdez. That's
It's
right.
Did I say it right?
X
So you're like,
Valdez?
it's like Madonna or like, it's Waldez.
The Jen
right.
doesn't matter anymore. I'm
Jen doesn't
just-
matter. That's your husband's last name, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what this will even look like over live stream. I'm assuming that it'll be a copy of my Zoom window if I can figure it out. I will figure it out next week.
Yeah, hopefully people will watch and or listen and give us feedback. Let us know
Yeah.
if it sounds better, worse, same.
And Jen, it's your turn next week to pick the topic.
Yay. It's going to be Joe and Trump. No, I'm just
We are
kidding.
trying to have somebody on who
I-
can speak about the vaccines from a better level than I can, and what you might want to consider moving forward for testing.
Yes, I'm excited to hear about the details of that.
Well, I have my issues with that too.
The vaccine? Oh,
a
man.
conspiracy theorist, right there he
They're
is.
going to inject the chip.
Listen, all I'll say is,
Did you see the horns I'm growing in my head?
all I'll say is Amazon. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Amazon is part of the injection that I'm getting.
It's part of the conspiracy. That's all I'm saying.
Oh boy.
There was like a
Yeah.
funny thing that they were talking about the people that stormed the Capitol are mostly obviously Trump supporters, but many of them don't believe in vaccines because of the chip or whatever they'll implant that follows.
Well, that's crazy. Everything you saw at that Capitol is so far right. It's not all Trump people are like that. So I'll say that.
One more thing. We got 1 minute left. Joe, one of the
Yeah.
best shows that we had between Jen and I was in the studio in New York City when she had Manuel there and Pat was there, and we were all drinking.
Oh boy.
It was one of the more popular shows.
But we had to drink through a sippy cup because
We
you
did.
couldn't have
Yeah.
open containers near
So
the
someday you're going to bring your girlfriend to New York City and we're going to meet up there.
Yes.
I'll
That'd be fun.
get hammered on air.
That's it. All right, guys, that's all the time we got. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Good talking to you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.